Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome for the first time. My name's Megan, and this is my bathroom. Today we're going to clean the bathroom. If you want some insight into what my life looks like right now, the bathroom is a good indicator. You can see the state it has gotten into. But I would also say, this was filmed a week ago, and I'm just now sitting down to do the voiceover. So that's how life's going. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I honestly don't really know what else we're going to talk about. Maybe just the bathroom. Maybe the bathroom. Maybe mental health is another good one. I know last video we talked about mental health a little bit, but I think we can talk about it maybe a little more broadly. Just mental health in general, and then also my mental health as a licensed therapist. There's some pretty big stuff that's been going on in the last couple weeks for me, and good and bad, and so I think that'll be a good thing to talk about too. So let's set the scene. Where are we at? This bathroom, as you know, if you've been with me for a while, it is our main bathroom. It's attached to the primary bedroom that my husband and I share. And it is the main bathroom that we use. It's also the main one that our daughter uses. She's 2.5. So, and speaking of her, I think she is awake right now. I'll be back. Okay, we are back. It has been, 7 hours. 6 hours. I think I started recording this morning at 8 o'clock, and now it's 2 something. So yeah, this is my life, guys. I'm hiding in my car. My husband is sick right now. We don't know if he has strep or what he has, so stay tuned for the next episode where I have strep. Which, I hope not, right? Who knows? But we do share a bed, and a house and everything. So if he's sick, I'm probably not too far behind. But in any case, I'm not going to worry about it now because I feel pretty good now. Oh gosh, hold on. I made a big splash in a second here, and I was not happy about it. Oh, ugh, so gross. Oh, so gross. I sloshed a little too vigorously here. Yeah, the thought of getting toilet water on the floor is so gross. Also, even grosser, a couple days after this was filmed, my daughter stood up after she went to the bathroom, and I was taking her shirt off while she was standing on that little stool that you can see there. And as I pulled the shirt over her head, she was holding her pacifier in her hand, and the sleeve popped the binky straight into the toilet. Oh, we had already flushed, but still. So that binky went straight in the garbage. I'm sure I could have sanitized it, but I feel like there's no coming back from that. So anyway, where were we, guys? Where were we? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Life is wild. I feel, if I can be honest with you, a little bit demotivated with the YouTube situation right now. I love you guys. I love your comments. I love your insights. I love that you love me. But real life is just really kicking my butt. And I feel like trying to find pockets of time, especially because a lot of my videos are longer, trying to find pockets of time where I can do a full voiceover. It's just rough. So I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of time to sit down and make a game plan. Yesterday, I was in a super boring continuing education class for my counseling license. We have to do 30 hours of, continuing education every 2 years. So the license is due at the end of March. So I'm really cramming in a lot of continuing education. But I was in this really boring class yesterday, and I started writing down like my quarterly goals, because March, like the first quarter of 2025 is kind of coming to a close. And so I'm like, okay, let's be mindful, because I feel like I have fallen way off course with being mindful. So let's be mindful, let's be intentional about what we want to have happen like April, May, June. And actually even through the summer. But for right now, like April, May, June. Like let's get through the end of the school year for my son. Let's like just kind of get everything squared away for the next few months. Let's think about our spending, our budget. Let's think about activities for the children. Let's think about my work goals. Let's think about YouTube, and let's think about my husband and like how to start dating him. I was going to say again, but honestly, like we never really dated. So yeah, like what do I want? What do I want? And honestly, like YouTube has just fallen off of the radar, because I like there's just too many things. There's too many priorities. So actually, since we're here, let's just chat. Let's chat about goals. Why not? Let's chat about setting some goals. Goals are like, I know all the like productivity gurus have a lot to say about setting goals versus having like a vision or like some values that you sort of try to align yourself to. So I don't know what to call it, but I guess let's brainstorm. Let's workshop some ideas for YouTube, okay? Because as I'm even talking about this, something came to me. What if I just do some shorter videos? What if I do shorter videos? What if I do like 10-minute videos or 15-minute videos? Like I could probably find 15 minutes in a day, like any one random weekday, to do a voiceover. Or just to sit down and film something straight to the camera, right? So that could be an idea, just to do shorter videos. Because I don't want to, here's the deal, like I don't want to abandon YouTube, right? I was talking to my mom the other day on the phone, and she asked like, oh, how's YouTube going? And I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. Because this season of my life is like just kind of crazy, right? It's kind of wild. I don't have a lot of time. I just don't, right? But that doesn't mean that in 6 months I won't have time, or in a year, like when my daughter is in preschool full time, that I won't have, well, a year from now she won't be in preschool. Well, maybe. Yeah. Sure, maybe a year from now. But whatever, it doesn't matter. In the relatively short future, right? Within a year, 2 years, I think I will have more time to dedicate to this channel. And I will have more time to dedicate to my counseling business, because once Amelia starts preschool and she is occupied somewhere that I'm satisfied with, for, most of the day, 5 days a week, then that will open up so much opportunity for me to focus on business stuff, right? So that's my goal, right? In the meantime, I'm sort of like, okay, how do I just keep things going? Like, how do I just keep the heartbeat alive? Like, how do I, like maybe the channel is on life support a little bit. Maybe it's, it's just chugging along. It's not like my main priority, maybe like it was last year. And that's okay. That's okay. I'll just keep checking in. I'll keep tidying up. I will keep doing what I do. And if people want to hang out, then I will hang out. And if people don't want to hang out, that's fine. But at least I won't get totally out of the habit. At least I won't completely lose momentum, right? Because I'm afraid if I just walk away and take a break, that will mean the end forever, right? Like I need to stay consistent. And I'm thinking a lot about seasons of life. I'm thinking a lot about consistency. I'm thinking a lot about accountability for a couple reasons. One, seasons of life I'm thinking about because I have a lot of clients in my counseling practice who have gone through traumatic brain injuries. My favorite population that I have right now is these referrals that I'm getting from the hospital system that I used to work for. We're getting a lot of people who've had brain injuries, they've had strokes, or they've have some people who have had brain tumors and they've had surgery and now they're sort of kind of trying to reestablish themselves. And a lot of their theming, a lot of things that they focus on is I want to get back to how I was. I want to get back to normal. Or maybe if they can acknowledge that normal or like what they had before isn't possible, they're still constantly striving for like, what's next? What's next? What's next? Like, I want to get better. I want to be able to be fully independent. I want to be able to drive. I want to be able to, go back to work, whatever. And what we talk a lot about in these sessions is, okay, I totally hear that, right? Of course you want to be independent. Of course it's really painful to have to rely on other people, right? Of course it's really hard to slow down right now. But what if we look at this as a season of life, right? This is just a time in your life. This is a period of time. We don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know when you're going to get better. We don't know how much better you are going to get, for most of them. Like, we just don't know, right? How much function they're going to regain. But we do know what they can do right now and what they can't do right now. And so what if we just accept what is? What if we just accept what is right now and try to strategize for what is right now? Like, if it's too hard for you to write things down because a stroke has affected your handwriting, what if you type things up if that's easier for you, right? And so I get a lot of resistance to that because people are like, yeah, but I need to work on my writing. I need to work on my handwriting. And it's like, yes, you can still work on your handwriting, but if you need something typed out or you need something printed, you need to communicate with somebody or you need to make a sign for yourself for a reminder, why make it harder on yourself? Like, why torture yourself and insist that it has to be the way that it used to be or else it's not enough, right? Oh, I feel like I might cry just saying that because for me, right, with YouTube, with whatever, but particularly with YouTube, just because I've always done 30 to 60-minute videos every week, if that's too hard for me right now, if that is too unrealistic, and the options are that either I do a 30 to 60-minute video or I don't do one at all, then that's like a false, it's a false dichotomy, right? It's a false choice. It's a false set of choices. There is a third option. The third option is to do a shorter video every week or to do some shorts just to stay in touch or to write a community post once in a while, right? It doesn't have to be this black and white, all or nothing, situation where if it's not perfect or it's not how I wish it was, then I just don't do it. There's got to be some room for some creativity. There's got to be some room for some compromise. And this is exactly what I'm working on with a lot of my clients. And this is what I need to still work on with myself is, okay, what I've always done isn't possible right now. So let's see what is possible. What hacks can I use right now? What adjustments can I make? What accommodations can I allow myself? What modifications can there be? Excuse me. So that I can still do something I enjoy. I can still have the community that I love, without making it unnecessarily traumatic or stressful or overwhelming, right? And see, this is so good because here's the other thing that has made me think about seasons and has made me think about sticking with something and all of that and accountability is I just finished 8.5 years in a therapy group as a client. I just finished 2 weeks ago. And every Thursday night since 2016, I went to this group. And during the week, I had phone calls with different group members every day. And every other week, I've met with my therapist. Like, this has been a long commitment. This is longer than any relationship I've ever been in, longer than I've known my husband. Like, this is a long time. The only longer commitment I've ever had has been my dog that I got when I was 21. His name was Bodie, and he lived for 15 years. So that is the only other commitment that I've had for that long. But 8.5 years. And so, I think that therapy group was such a good environment for me to learn about accountability, for me to learn how to accept feedback about who I am and about my behavior and my choices. That was really painful. But I think it prepared me for YouTube. To not take, to not lose my mind when people have negative comments, right? Or challenging comments, even if they're not negative, but if they're like lovingly critiquing, or giving some criticism with love. So therapy was good for that. It was good to be in relationship with people who, maybe I didn't love all of them. I didn't like all of them all the time, and they probably didn't like me all the time. But knowing that it was a safe place and that we were all agreeing to the same rules and we were all on the same page, and that if we had a conflict, that the solution wasn't to just go away. It was to dig in and get creative and figure it out together. And so I just finished that 2 weeks ago. I graduated. And I say graduated because it was an assignment-based group. So there was a curriculum that had a certain amount of assignments that you could complete. And so it took me 8.5 years to complete the curriculum. Takes some people longer, not much longer, but it also takes most people probably less time than that. But that's how long it took me. And I guess now, oh, there's Amelia. She really wanted to help me clean the floors. And I let her. I found a non-toxic, my bottle of non-toxic cleaner and gave it to her so that she could help. Because I have found that fighting her on these things is really not helpful. But see, that's another way, like another growth mindset thing, right? Or another flexible thinking opportunity, right? Where it's like, did I want her to help me? No. Did she really want to help? Yes. So how do we find a compromise? Also, sorry, I will get back on track, but this is so gross, and this is where people are going to criticize me, and I probably shouldn't even say it, but I do not clean our shower as often as I really should. But I did, however, buy a scrubby brush, and I'm sorry, I'm terrible at camera angles, like overhead shots and stuff. I really should figure that out, but, because actually now I do have a tripod with like flexible arms that I could probably put above me. But anyway, I didn't on that day. So you're just seeing this, whatever this is. But I really don't clean the shower as often as I should. And so today, or this day, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Because somebody's comment that they left a long time ago was like, your daughter deserves better. I was like, you know what? Yes, she does. She really does. But this, it's so dingy at this point. Like, it's never going to look. I mean, this bathtub insert thing was probably put in like 1992 or whenever the house was built. So like it's never going to be gorgeous. All right? Unless maybe, I don't know, Beth from Feral Chadwife has this like electric spinny brush. Maybe I should get one of those one day. But I am poor right now, so we're not spending any more money for a while. That is part of my quarterly goal, is to not spend money on literally anything except for food. Like, that's it. And maybe some experience kind of stuff. Like, we're going to a hotel with a pool over spring break for Amari with some of his friends. So that'll be fun. But anyway, I digress. So where was I? Group. What the hell was I saying about group? I honestly don't know. Oh, yeah. So now that I'm done with group, how is this relevant to you? This is where we need to talk. Now that I'm done with group, I feel like this YouTube channel can be just another opportunity for me to kind of talk through what I'm going through. And this is such a bizarre shot. I am so sorry that you had to see that. But anyway, oh, that's gross. Let's clean that. Yeah, but this is a good place for me to talk things through, figure things out in real time. So if any of you are enjoying that, let me know. Because I'm not in therapy anymore. I mean, I go to therapy, like I see my regular therapist, but that's probably like once a month now. Whereas I used to have phone calls with people all the time. And then I was in group once a week. So I was really processing my thoughts a lot, out loud. So now you guys get to be the holding space for all of those thoughts. But my ultimate goal, though, as much as I do want to keep YouTube alive and well, my ultimate goal is to figure out how to communicate better with my husband. Oh gosh, the soap graveyard. Guys, that thing, you're going to see me really struggle with it for the next few minutes. I think it's built in, or I think it was like screwed in to this whole bath situation. But I wanted to take that little plastic thing out so I could really clean it and scrub it better. But it had some long ass screws that were holding it in there. You'll see in a minute. But anyway, I just leave these little pieces of soap, these little soap chips up there. I've probably been leaving soap chips up there for the last, I don't know, 2 years. That's a lot of soap. So that's the dingy part. So I spend a while trying to clean it. And I don't know. It wasn't perfect at the end, you'll see, but it was better. It was better. Where was I going? Oh, my relationship with my husband. Yeah. So I really, sorry, I had a coughing fit. I really want to figure out how to communicate better with my husband and how to date my husband. We have been together since the summer of 2018. So 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. So like 7 years-ish, almost. And we've been married since 2021. So whatever math that is, 4 years. I don't know. We've been together for a while. So yeah, when I said earlier that we never really dated, that is the truth. We never really dated. When I met him, I don't know if I've told this story before, but when I met Ed, he already had Amari. He had adopted Amari, and that is a whole story that is Amari's story to tell, so I'm not going to get too deep into it. But Ed adopted Amari, and it was a kinship foster situation. So Ed already had known Amari since he was born, since Amari was born, and was close with him. And then when he needed to be adopted, Ed adopted him as a single dad. So actually, I guess this part I can tell, on Amari's birth certificate, Ed is the only parent. There is no mother listed, since you get a new birth certificate once you're adopted. Obviously, he did have a mother who was his biological mother, but that is a story for another time. In any case, so when I met Ed, Ed had Amari. Amari was about 5 when I started working with Ed. We met at a job, and we were both managers. Like, he was the nursing home administrator for the nursing home part of where we worked, and I was the memory care director of the assisted living place in the same building. And so we met. I got to see him at work and how kind he was to people, and then I also got to see him be a parent to Amari. And I thought it was adorable, and super sweet. And I thought, actually, when I first met him, I thought he was gay. Because he was so well groomed and like smelled really nice, and he always wore like a tie and a suit, and he had adopted this kid alone, like without a partner. And so I was like, oh, this guy's got to be gay. But no, he's straight, and he just happened to be single at that time. And so once he and I realized that we liked each other and we started dating, that is a lot of just blank space there, sorry. But once we started dating, we did have a little bit of time that it was like just us, right? Like, we would hang out after work a little bit or whatever. But because Ed was a single dad, he really didn't have anybody to watch Amari. And then also, like, he obviously felt guilty, like, not spending time with Amari after he had been at work all day. And Amari had been in daycare all day, or like, you know, had to go to school and then went to daycare after school. So for our whole relationship, we have pretty much done like family stuff together with Amari for most of the time. And we never had a honeymoon. Well, I mean, part of that was because it was COVID times. Like, we got married in our living room at the house. And my parents were there via like FaceTime. And so like, we didn't have a big wedding. We didn't have a honeymoon. We have never been away, just the two of us, for more than one night. Our whole relationship, ever, in 7 years. We have gone on a few dates alone, but not in a very long time. So my goal, now that I'm done with my weekly therapy, and what I need to make my priority is my marriage. Because I spent a lot of time focusing on the house. I spent a lot of time focusing on YouTube. I spent a lot of time focusing on building a new business this past year. And I've also spent a lot of time focusing on like my health journey, which I can get into in another video again. And I've just spent a lot of time processing without Ed, right? And I love him. I am attracted to him. I'm happy that I'm married to him. But we need to figure out how to date each other. So I guess I notice I'm running out of time on this video. I don't even know how I got on this topic, but I guess it's kind of like going along with my quarterly goals, my vision, my values, and trying to get creative in this season of life, right? Like, you can't have it all exactly the way you want, all at the same time. I can't be like an amazing entrepreneur, an amazing counselor, an amazing mom, an amazing wife, an amazing YouTuber, all at once. I can do some of it kind of okay some of the time. So my goal in these next 3 months, and I hesitate to make goals any further out than that. But my goal in the next 3 months is to find a little bit of balance, be a little more creative with how I fit things in, and figure out how to date my husband, guys, and figure out how to process my feelings and thoughts without this thing that was built in for so long through being in a therapy group. So that's what I got. This is my super clean bathroom. My moderately clean bathroom. And there is my soap dish that is mostly cleaned out. And I hope that was satisfying for you. So thank you for coming along. I love you. And I will see you again next week because I don't want to lose my momentum or break my streak of posting every week. So love you. Mwah. I will see you in the next video. Bye.